Midjourney's recent edition of SREF Random is a new way to explore the Midjourney style space. When included in a prompt, a random style is applied to the results. This style is assigned a number or code that you can use in new prompts to create images with a similar visual style. There are billions of SREF codes that you can explore, and I've been a bit obsessed with this feature and have spent many hours exploring a lot of different random style codes. I've saved my favorites so far to an ever-growing library, and today I'll share 10 of these styles and my plans for sharing many more. All of the images in this video were created using Midjourney's V6 model, and I used the default style weight of 100. SREF Random is just one way to use the style reference parameter. For a more detailed look, check out my SREF deep dive video. And if you want more Midjourney tutorials and prompt inspiration videos, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go through these 10 random styles. For fun, let's start out with style reference number 0, which I've nicknamed Vintage Realism. I gave every style in this video a name because I figured it was a lot easier than reading out a number. The images for this style range from photorealistic to weathered, hyper-realistic oil paintings, and they have a slightly gritty and vintage aesthetic. To use this or any of the style reference codes in this video in your own prompts, just include the style reference parameter followed by the SREF code number at the end of your prompt. These are the text prompts that I use to create most of the images in this video, so you'll see subjects repeated across styles. One thing I want to highlight is that the SREF code you use interacts with the words in your prompt. When I used simple prompts like flowers, bird, and car, I got the vintage oil painting look. But when I included the word photo in my prompt, I got a photographic image. It maintained a similar color palette, but it doesn't have that vintage oil painting look. So keep this in mind when you're using any style reference. If there are style words or phrases in your prompt that contradict the visual aesthetics of the SREF provided, they can sometimes compete in the results. Next up, introspective reverie. This is one of my favorites that I've come across so far. Most of the images are photographic and monotone with an occasional pop of color like the pink in the flowers. I love the weathered vintage look, and there are artifacts that I think sometimes make the images resemble aged black and white magazines. There are also wistful, atmospheric, and otherworldly elements that show up in many of the images. Uncanny organic invasion. This one is a bit strange and post-apocalyptic. I think the images look a bit hyper-realistic and they have sort of a high dynamic range glow to them. The color palette is dark with green and orange tones, and the style is really consistent across prompts. Tendrils and vines commonly appeared when I tried different prompts, so if you want to make dark and strange images, try this one out. Teal surrealscapes. This is another dark style where the dominating colors are teal and reddish orange, and it kind of floats between a photographic, hyperrealism, and surrealism depending on the prompt. And don't forget that you can increase or decrease the strength of any of these styles by using the style weight parameter SW. These images were created using the default style weight of 100. Here's the same style code number, but at a style weight of 15. We still have a lot of teal and reddish orange colors, but the images are less stylized. Tapestry mosaic. This is a warm, antique mosaic style that looks beautiful on pretty much every prompt that I tried. It's a very consistent style that gives an old world, antique, and painterly look to the images. It's a really beautiful style that I think would be great for creating reference photos for painting. Luminous fantasy. This is a bright and colorful style that I think leans into digital art and 3D. Blues and reds are the dominating colors here. Many of the prompts that I tested with this style created images with whimsical elements and looked like scenes from an animated movie. Photographic images can also be created with this prompt. Vectorial expressionism. This is a really cool, minimal style with orange and blue-gray colors. Some of the images show a combination of abstract shapes and photorealistic elements. In this image, the car looks somewhat photorealistic, but the surrounding landscape is abstract and minimal. I think it's a really interesting combination. Particle black. This is a dark style full of mood with blacks and shades of blue. Speckles, tiny flowers on branches, and deep shadows are common elements for this style. This is one of those otherworldly styles that I've spent a lot of time with, and it also looks really beautiful at lower style weights. These images were all created using style weight 15. Tangerine techno. This is a fun style that mixes retro futurism, vintage, and sci-fi. The dominant color here is quite obviously orange. Most of the images are photographic with some photorealism mixed in. This is a versatile style that I think works well for a lot of different subjects, especially if you like the color orange. Muted whimsy. This is a great SREF code that can give you fine-lined illustrations or beautiful photographic images. The color palette is understated with muted and desaturated tones of green and red. There's a whimsical element to several of these images that I really like, and I think it would be a great style for visual storytelling. Now, if these 10 styles aren't enough for you, I've made all of these plus 10 more available as a free download. Each SREF style code page includes several example images and keywords that describe that style. There's a lot more where those came from. I have close to 100 that I've curated so far, and I plan to release them all in the future. The link is in the description below. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who has downloaded any of my Midjourney guides. I really appreciate the support. Let me know down in the comments which styles are your favorite and if you'd like me to make another video with more of these random styles. As always, please be sure to like, subscribe, all the things. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.